Welcome to It's the Truth channel. The founding father, Benjamin Franklin, a diplomat and a scientist who was one of the cornerstones of our Constitution, and he was one of the few who drafted the Declaration of Independence. In 1775, during the Second Continental Congress, he warned of the danger of admitting the Jews into the newly emerged America. He prophesied what will happen in 100 years if America allowed the Jews in. This is what he said. There is a great danger for the United States of America. This great danger is the Jew. Gentlemen, in every land the Jews have settled, they have depressed the moral level and lowered the degree of commercial honesty. They have remained apart and unassimilated oppressed. They attempt to strangle the nation financially, as in the case of Portugal and Spain. For more than 1700 years, they have lamented the sorrowful fate. Namely, they have been driven out of the motherland. But, gentlemen, if the civilized world today should give them back Palestine and their property, they would immediately find pressing reason for not returning there. Why? Because they are vampires, and vampires cannot live on other vampires. They cannot live among themselves. They must live among Christians and others who do not belong to the race. If they are not expelled from the United States by the Constitution within less than 100 years, they will stream into this country in such numbers that they will rule and destroy us and change our form of government, for which we Americans shed our blood and sacrificed our life, property, and personal freedom. If the Jews are not excluded within 200 years, our children will be working in the field to feed Jews while they remain in the counting houses, gleefully rubbing their hands. I warn you, gentlemen, if you do not exclude the Jews forever, your children and your children's children will curse you in their graves. Their ideas are not those of Americans, even when they lived among us for 10 generations. The leopard cannot change his spots. The Jews are a danger to this land, and if they are allowed to enter, they will imperil our institutions. They should be excluded by the Constitution. It's exactly as if Franklin read the future, but he didn't. He simply knew the past of the Jewish people. Since long time, Jews controlled the US Federal Reserve System and owned the major banks in the US. Don't take my words for this. You can look it up yourself. The only thing Jews are good at is lending people money. They sell money at the accumulated interest rate. Every American is pressured every day by a compounding interest rate that will keep the American people in debt for the rest of their lives. American Jews, who are less than 2% of the population, owning more than 50% of the American wealth. Many Americans work for the Jews, even if they don't directly work for them. They work their bleeps off to pay the Jews this compound interest. Besides, American Jews is the reason behind the rise of the porn industry, that dirty sickness that took over the American children's minds. Jews always play the victim. They use an old tactic. If you say anything against their twisted actions, they will accuse you of being anti Semitic, even though the entire Middle East, including Christians, Jews, and Muslims, are Semites. Semitism is not limited to a religion or a group of people. Does that mean that all Jews are bad? Absolutely not. There are still very few of them who do the right thing and do not follow the crowd. Do you understand now why Palestine was given to the Jews? Do you think Franklin's prophecy has been fulfilled? If you like this video, please share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.